Hi, this is Brittany Drozd, and welcome to another opportunity to create a legacy and a life that you love. So today I want to talk with you about garbage. It is trash day for me, and I was putting everything from my house and taking it out to the street just like I do every week. But this week it had a new significance for me, and I want to tell you why. So I was preparing, actually at the same time as I was doing all my trash, preparing to put together my social media messages for the week and what I wanted to say and what messages I wanted to send. And I found myself getting really stuck, and sometimes I have a lot of resistance to this activity because it's a place where that I don't necessarily feel totally confident in everything that I put together. And that's a feeling I don't like. Who wants to feel less than 100% confident in the messages that they're putting out into the world, in the branding that they have for their business? No one wants to feel that way. But I don't think that my experience is actually that uncommon. I think a lot of people have the experience of not being certain about the messaging that they're putting out or the story that they're telling or that their business tells. So, how do we combat this? The problem is that when that uncertainty or that fear or resistance stops you from putting stuff out into the world. So, we create things all day long. Whether you create a product, whether you provide a service, we are creating and putting things out into the world. This is the most important thing that you do, that you keep creating and you keep putting stuff out there. But when we get stuck in evaluating and judging the messaging, our social media, our emails, all of that, then we can actually stop ourselves from being the powerful creators that we know we can be. So this analysis paralysis actually holds us back from our ultimate goal, which is just putting stuff out there. I heard an awesome interview with Seth Godin the other day. He's a fabulous author if you haven't read any of his stuff on marketing. And he was talking about how each day he writes about 5 different articles, but only publishes 1. And he was saying that the number one thing that keeps him in creation is being willing to create garbage. Who the heck wants to create garbage? Who wants to be known for creating garbage? No one. Absolutely no one. The fear of creating garbage is actually what stops us from creating it all. But his argument was to not be afraid and to create anyway. And the truth of that is people will place judgment on everything you create, regardless of if it's Nobel Prize worthy or if it should be taken out with yesterday's trash. But it shouldn't stop you from creating. There are people who go through thousands of iterations of a product or whatever before they nail that exact, that iPhone that sells millions or whatever version of that you want to think of. But it's through each thing that we create that we get closer and closer to that dynamite product or to honing that exact messaging that really connects with the client. So never stop creating, and don't be afraid of creating garbage in the process, because creating that garbage, putting it out there, is a very essential part of the process too. And the truth is sometimes it's hard to differentiate when you're in the process of creating of if something is garbage or if something is great. But if you're really in that zone of creating and creating and creating, you won't have time to stop long enough to try to evaluate which category this thing you just created falls into. You got to just keep moving. So this is really about creating momentum and staying with it and staying moving forward. Can you put together a schedule of creation that you stick to, that will allow you to get into this habit, that will break you of that analysis paralysis or that fear or resistance that comes up around the idea that what I create might not be good and I can't put it out into the world? So for me, I have a schedule. I have a schedule each week where I sit down and write and put together ideas and whatnot. And as long as I'm sitting down and I'm doing that, I've accomplished the goal already, regardless of what I create, if it's garbage or if it's great, because I know it's all part of the process. So this week, I want to encourage you to actually create some garbage, because that means you created something. That might be more than you did last week. So create an amazing week. Can't wait to hear your stories in the comments section of this video or on the blog. And see you soon.